Morning,
Chuck.
Scott. Thanks for coming in.
You're more than welcome. Anything I can do.
Yeah. Well, let me just set this up a little bit. A couple months ago, I made this decision to run for county commissioner. Wasn't sure exactly how to approach this whole campaign thing, but we decided the first thing was to do some video to let people know who I am and what my thoughts were, and maybe some ideas about the future of the county. And that's been getting good responses. People around the area have been giving us good feedback. So I wanted to continue that with a kind of a different mode, because this whole couple months has involved me learning about Coshocton County. And I've been doing that by reading. I've been doing that by going to meetings and now having conversations with individual people. And very enlightening to me, and I think encouraging to other people that I want to hear what other people's perceptions of the county are as well. So, Scott, that's kind of what I want to talk about. But hey, you and I have known each other for quite a few years. So tell us who you are. What's your connection here?
Okay, well, again, my name is Scott Bardall. I've lived in the community for 25 years or so. I was a longtime teacher and coach, Orville, and then eventually moved down and taught and coached at Garraway, but have lived in Coshocton County for over 25 years. As like I say, education has been a big part of my background. But now I'm retired from education after 35 years and part-time farmer, full-time babysitter. Cool. Keep myself busy doing those kind of things today.
Okay, good. Well, like you said, you grew up out in Harrison County, right, I believe, and then lived up in the Sugar Creek area for a while, and now you're back down in Coshocton County. Do you have any overall perceptions of what Coshocton County is like, what you like here, that kind of thing? Well,
again, as you mentioned, I was born and raised in Harrison County on a small farm, dairy farm that still exists today. Coshocton County to me is very similar in the sense that it's tight-knit, family-based kind of fabric to the community. And it's something that I've enjoyed throughout my life. Even in my time when I was teaching, coaching in Orville, Wayne County has a fair amount of that kind of feel to it as well too. But so in the 25 years that I've been down here, we wanted to raise our children in a small town environment. Family kind of drew us here. We've raised our kids here. They still spend their time as much as possible here. Our youngest son is a teacher at the Career Center. And so he lives on the edge of the farm. So family, I guess, drew us here, and it continues to be the draw, I think.
Okay. How do you think Coshocton County comes across as a good environment for small businesses and families? Have you felt welcomed here when you came in, and now do you feel like this is home for sure?
No, I definitely do. I'm not a business. My background is not in business, so I'm not sure if I would be authentic if I could give much of a feel there. I clearly can see that the community encourages and has seen growth in small business. I think obviously there are always things that we can do to try to promote the growth of small business. But if you look at nearby counties, small business tends to lead the way. And again, if we can do more in that area to attract, so that not only are we attracting business, but that's job opportunity for our kids. You have grandchildren, I have grandchildren in the community. Those are important things to us. So that if we can continue to do that, that's great. I do think the environment is enticing. I think, we obviously need to make sure that we have a workforce that can fill those jobs adequately.
Yeah, right.
I think the Career Center, the growth that we see in the Career Center is something that is a really, really good thing. So that not only for the small business owners who are looking for employees, but perhaps maybe moving forward, larger businesses kind of reestablishing a base here in Coshocton County. I think that would be great. But again, the schools, and again, I point out the Career Center in particular, I know they've gone through considerable growth. That's a really positive thing for the job environment and the work environment.
Hey, I'm with you. Career Center is a very, very positive place right now in this county. My understanding is that enrollment is almost maxing out in some of those study programs. So there's a lot of interest from local kids who want to get those trade credentials underneath their belt and then go out into the job force. and that makes me kind of concerned about, do we have the opportunities in this county for those kids to come out of the Career Center, to stay local, and to work here and live here, raise their kids here? I mean, you've got kids and grandkids now, and we love having them close by. I really like the idea that families can be around their grandkids, not have to travel hours to see them and stuff like that. And I know your daughter lives out of the area, but you do have a couple of grandkids here, and I mean, that's just great, a great situation. And I'm in the same situation as you. The other thing, that you're involved in the agriculture as well as I am, and I'm trying to figure out how exactly the county balances out these priorities for agriculture and economy, industry, manufacturing, and in addition to that is housing. One of the things that the university studies that have been done over the last 20 years or so have said about Coshocton County is we need to re-stimulate our manufacturing base that we've lost a lot of, but also find ways to get investment into family housing. And I want to tread softly, but also pursue pointedly that we need to find ways to build more houses in this county. We have an aging housing inventory here, and so we want to make that happen. Do you see any tension between agriculture and housing or economic development, Scott?
Well, I mean, I can see that there could be. The reality is, again, I grew up on a small family farm. We have about 350 acres. It's still in the family after about 125 years. I live on a small family farm. My wife's aunt and uncle still farm it. We work there every day. I've got pigs to unload when I leave here today. So I understand that. At the same time, I think most of the folks that live in Coshocton County have made a choice to live here. And I don't know whether it's the chicken and egg kind of a story, whether job opportunity has to be created through continued growth in small business and perhaps some larger maybe industries coming back to the county. I don't know whether that has to be the precursor, that has to come first. Clearly, I do understand the housing situation. We bought and built. As I mentioned, my son bought and built here. Yeah. So clearly those things do have to be considered. And again, my background is not necessarily in business. I do think, though, that agriculture, small business growth, housing, they can exist. They can coexist peacefully and productively for the benefit of all.
Yeah. Hey, Scott, one of the things I've learned from you is that how you have been able to impact young people through your coaching and teaching career. And even now that you're retired, you're still having connections with a lot of these young folks. They're now married, they're family men, they're business people, they're in careers, and you still have a connection with them. And I think you've had an impact on those people. Am I right about that?
Well, I guess we would have to ask them to see what that impact really has been. I've loved coaching and teaching. I knew I was going to be a coach. I wanted to be a coach when I was a high schooler. I played for a guy who coached in the area, Dave Mast, who was a longtime Riverview girls coach, but I played for him as a boy. Went to college, knew I was going to be a coach. Coached with a legendary basketball coach at Orville, Steve Smith, who was a Hall of Famer and won 3 straight titles. And I saw how much he put of himself into his players and how that developed a relationship that would last over a long period of time. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be an important part of these people's lives. And so I've coached both boys and girls. And we've had a number of very successful campaigns and played in state tournaments. And that's no credit to me. That's credit to them. But yes, I've been very blessed to have taken the God-given talents that he's entrusted into me and hopefully shared some of those with those players. Odd that you ask or you bring that up. This morning I got a notification from a player that graduated from me or playing for me in 1993.
Oh my.
And that one of our former acquaintances' father passed away this morning. And I was just relating to this person. It's 1993, and in the same email or text this morning, letting me know that they're going to be a grandparent.
Oh yeah.
And so, yeah, this opportunity, and I'm sure you can understand this as a business person too. You develop relationships that aren't just business; they're personal as well too. And so, yeah, I've had a great opportunity to develop relationships, and my wife and I and family went through a terrible tragedy a few years ago, and I can honestly say those relationships with players, who in that time where they were teenagers, helped immensely, and they've stayed in touch and picked me up and dusted me off and patted me on the back a number of times.
I mean, I went through that tragedy with you and know what you're talking about, and saw so many people come around you folks and just say, and that was a testimony too, how you have impacted and been connected with so many people who care about you, love you, and you've extended it. It's come back to you. I mean, isn't that what community is about?
It is.
And I mean, the church has been a part of that, but just even though the community from several counties of people that you've been involved with over the years, it's just been amazing.
And I think that's the beautiful thing about Coshocton County, and I'm sure other counties could make this argument as well too, but it has the small town feel, and you can go almost any place and run across somebody maybe you haven't seen for weeks or months or years, but in a few minutes it's just like old times and old friends catching up, and that's why we chose to live here and raise our children here.
Well, listen, I'm running for county commissioner. Have you given any thought to what exactly are the qualities or characteristics that you think a county commissioner should have to do a good job in this county?
Given the current climate politically, starting at that point, I think I would be looking to vote for someone for county commissioner who can listen. I feel like so often in politics we see people who are really good at speaking and not so good at listening. So someone that is willing to listen to different perspectives and can look at things from different perspectives rather than coming in kind of with a bullwhip and an idea of where they want things to go. And I think that would go a long ways towards healing the fractured political environment that we're in. So someone that can listen and see different perspectives, have an open mind, be willing to maybe be persuaded to look at something in a different way. I think many of us in the world today here in the United States and perhaps even Coshocton County feel like politicians are easily swayed by political or economic positions or advantages that they can gain. So I think if I'm the average voter, I want to believe that the person that I'm voting for can have an open mind, is willing to listen, and is not out to somehow benefit themselves, but rather work for the good of all. And in fairness, I think, you come from a family that's entrenched here over 100 years, and you've got kids here. I think the fact that it would appear that you have a vested interest in the growth in the community, not necessarily personal gain at heart. I think that's attractive to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Kind of to summarize where I'm at, I want to see the county enhance the investment opportunities for both business, housing, agriculture, find a way to enhance that. And the commissioner's role in that, I think, is really to be fiscally responsible, be wise in your policy decisions, and then be strategic about infrastructure development in the county. And then I think those things will work out. I mean, we want to be able to attract families to be here, businesses to come here, visitors to come in and enjoy the tourism opportunities that we have here in the county. So investment from inside and outside the county is important. And I think, I see that. I think that's important. That's what I want to work for.
I agree. You brought up the point about being fiscally responsible. I think most taxpayers want to believe that the people that they're electing are fiscally responsible. We don't have to watch the news very long to see example after example of abuse of taxpayer money, as if because it didn't come out of their pocket, it doesn't matter. And obviously to taxpayers, it does. And, I live right down the road from Pearl Valley Cheese, and I've known the folks there for, even though I've only lived there about 25 to 30 years, I've known those folks for more than 40. And I know that they're fiscally responsible and I believe that most taxpayers want to believe in the person they're voting for, that they will take care of their dollars wisely.
And I think that's probably one of the lessons I bring as a business person who's been involved for nearly 40 years in this business environment, that fiscal responsibility has got to be, the high priority for local government, for business people, just as individuals right now. I mean, the economy is a little bit rough in some areas, but we all have to bring fiscal responsibility to our personal finances, to our businesses, and to the county as a whole. And I'm hoping I can do that.
Yeah, I think that again, to the typical voter, that's what they're looking for.
Hey, Scott, thanks for your input. Appreciate it.
No problem at all.
Thanks for sitting down with me.
Thank you.
Okay. Coshocton County, I appreciate so much what you've been able to do for us at Pearl Valley Cheese. The years and years of support, the involvement in our business, all that stuff has allowed us to achieve a level of success that you couldn't imagine for a small company in this county. But we do appreciate it, and I got to tell you, I am going to bring that same work ethic, that same desire to succeed to my job as County Commissioner. I do need your support. Please come out and vote for me on May 5th.